Ninja 92 here, and welcome back to Let's Play Star Wars The Old Republic, the Jedi Knight storyline, with Sogohi and Kira. Last time we left off, we had just been rescued, quote-unquote, from the Emperor's stronghold by the spirit of our old master, after the Emperor got into our heads and made us go all dark side on everyone. After that, we brought Lord Scourge, the former Emperor's Wrath, to the Jedi Council. And apparently the Emperor has some maniacal plan to wipe out all life in the galaxy because power. I swear, I never understand villains in some of these games. And as I said, why would he wipe out all life in the galaxy? He rules an empire. What's he gonna rule if everything's dead? Apparently he just wants more power. Typical Sith, never being satisfied with what they've got. In any case, we are now on Belsavis, a Republic prison world. Because apparently he plans to kill a bunch of people here for some ritual. And we have to stop that. Because, and I know this would be oh so shocking, letting an evil Dark Lord get away with random murder and going through with his crazy plan is not something we typically want to have happen. Oh great, the camera's screwing with me. So yeah, as a result, we are now here on Belsavis, in orbit above it, rather, and have to use our ship's holo terminal. And we ended last time with some technical difficulties of the game not recognizing I was on Belsavis. So what I ended up doing that eventually fixed it was I went back to Tython and then traveled to Belsavis again, and for some reason that fixed things. So this is the next morning from my previous recording, and I am doing this now. So, but I also had to X out of the initial holo communication that we got when we arrived on this planet, just because it happened while I didn't have my recording software open. So here we go.
Master Satil, we've arrived at Belsavis. Have you learned anything?
The Empire just launched a surprise attack there. Dangerous prisoners are free from their cells to wreak havoc down on the surface.
Mere diversion. The Emperor has only one true goal: the annihilation of all life on this world.
Okay, Scourge, it's all well and good to say that he plans to annihilate all life on this prison planet, which, by the way, contains war criminals and Sith Lords. But we need to actually know what his plan is in order to be able to stop it more effectively. So please do share.
Wiping out an entire planet isn't easy.
We don't know how the Emperor intends to destroy all life on Belsavis. We do have one lead. Intelligence indicates a high-ranking Imperial named Executor Kranus recently arrived on world.
Kranus is a pure-blooded Sith, fanatically loyal to the Emperor. Whatever the plan is, he's the one tasked with carrying it out.
Do you know him? And what kind of things can we expect from this guy?
What else can you tell me about Executor Kranus?
Unlike most of Sith blood, Kranus was not born with an affinity for the Force. Despite this, he has risen quickly through the ranks of the Emperor's army. It would be a mistake to underestimate him.
Anna Tabord, a member of our order, is already on the surface looking for Kranus. She'll help you find the Executor, but she isn't strong enough to stop him. That task falls on you.
Alright, I can do that. But what should we do about the escaped prisoners? Obviously, more than a few of them are dangerous and a security risk. How do you want to play this?
If these are the most dangerous criminals in the galaxy, should we just leave them on the loose?
If the Emperor succeeds in his ritual, all life in the galaxy will be extinguished.
What your companion says is true. But Jedi do not turn their backs on those in need. Do not endanger your mission, but do what you can to help the Republic restore order. Go to the planet's surface and meet Anna at the coordinates I'm sending you now. May the Force be with you.
And by the way, Lord Scourge is an asshole. Lord Scourge is a super asshole. I do not like him. So far...
Master, I have reprogrammed your vessel's cruise
Shut up,
processor to reduce the
C3.
crew's caloric intake.
So far, he's basically been a jackass to everyone, and straight up said he's only helping us because he feels like the Emperor's plan is complete bullshit, and he had a vision. It doesn't make him less of an asshole, and I do not like him. By the way, congratulations, Doc. You've officially been bumped down on my list of people Sogohi hates to under Lord Scourge. Because this guy is an absolute prick. No two worries about it. He's terrible. But to the prison world. Hang on a second, everyone. I left Discord on in the background and not in streamer mode. I have to take care of that. Be right back. And I'm back. Sorry about that. Didn't want to be getting random Discord notifications while I was trying to record, just basically saying, this person has left you a message on Discord. Go over and say hi, or whatever. As while I love Discord, I usually remember to turn it off while I'm recording. Not this time, apparently. Okay, then. Here. Flashpoint Hammer Station. I already have that. Why am I getting it again?
I've been in a lot of fights and I'm still alive. Does that answer your question?
This is Master Satele Shan of the Jedi Order. Our survival against the...
Okay,
Without a doubt.
Yeah, I'm picking up a number of flashpoints. I'll have to find time to pick up a group and do a few sometime. They could make for some interesting input here. So let's head to minimum security. Plenty of Republic security and war droids around here. Though, I get a feeling, if there ever was any kind of concerted push by the Empire, or anyone else for that matter, to try and take this planet out of business, as it were, that it would go south very quickly. And the whole planet would basically be screwed. because I doubt they could hold out against the Imperial military very well. Because as much as I like to rag on the Imperial military and insult them, they have to be at least vaguely competent. I mean, they're running an interstellar empire, and said empire still exists. So their army is at least somewhat capable of doing their job. Even if they're not very good at fighting me.
It's useless. This droid's nothing but a junk heap without replacement parts.
You say? Obligatory fetch
Sorry,
quest
Master
incoming.
Jedi, I didn't hear you. Crazy racket those convicts are making. There's 100 screaming crazies out there, all my men are hurt, and the warden droids that are supposed to help us don't function.
Okay. I can help you with the convicts.
I can drive off the prisoners and buy you a little breathing room.
It won't help. They'll just come back. If our droids were working, we'd have a chance, but they all need motivator coils. The blasted Mandalorians raided our supply depot and ran off with our extra coils, so we've got nothing. Mandos aren't like other convicts. They're more like a military unit than a gang. Even set up their own headquarters.
Here, Mandalorians usually stick to Imperial space. Are they on a job here, you think?
What are Mandalorians doing on Belsavis?
They were captured after they wiped out some backwater planet. Real nasty. Real resourceful. They've even scavenged a bunch of old warden droids and turned them into turret defenses. That's why they took the coils. You want to help? Break open those turrets the Mandos built and bring me the motivator coils. With those, these droids will be back online.
Of course, I can help you.
I'll have those coils back in your hands before nightfall.
If you can pull it off, we'll have a chance. But I'll believe it when I see it. The camp's near the remnants of the prison housing. The turrets guard the perimeter. Be careful out there. The Mandos are gonna go ballistic if you start breaking their toys.
Well, somehow I don't rate their chances against me very highly, but that's just me. In any case, Tarbod or Enatarbod? This is the person we need to see next. A little bit of damage, but I didn't have to wait. So that's nice. There we are. Overseers, jailers, and infantrymen all over the place. Warden plate.
So, the Jedi finally arrives. Started to think you'd gotten cold feet.
Story quest.
I'm Warden Plate.
Up.
This here's my second in command, Growl. Now, let's get one thing straight. This is my prison. You want to help out, bust a few heads, fine. But you'll do things my way.
We'll
Understand?
play by your rules.
I'm not here to challenge your authority, Warden.
Good. Last thing I need is some loose cannon jeopardizing our operation. This facility houses some of the galaxy's most dangerous criminals. Was one of the Republic's best-kept secrets until the Empire caught on.
Our guards found a subspace transmitter in one of the prison wards. Crude, but functional. Must have taken decades to scrap together.
Blasted thing led the Imperials right to us. They snuck in, sprang the prisoners, and blew open the armories in a single strike.
Yeah, that's not good. That would be an understatement, though. Describing a prison riot as not good never really covers things, does it? Not that I have any personal experience with that, of course.
You're telling me the prisoners are all free and armed?
That's the short of it. The military's already sent a few elite detachments our way. Been about as useful as a tauntaun in a sandstorm.
Last we heard, they'd lost the deep prison. Encountered some unknown species in the maximum security wing. And they're getting pummeled.
Let them sweat. Our priority is securing this level. And that means stamping out a gang of lunatics calling themselves the Condemned. They're all second and third generation prisoners. Born and raised right here in the prison. Just as twisted as the scum they're descended from.
Born here?
Sounds like they got a pretty raw deal.
Save your sympathy. They're animals. Every last one. Thanks to them, our security fields are down and our access to the armories has been cut off. We're sitting naked here. If we can retake the armories and get those fields back online, we'll be in business. Then we'll...
Oh dear.
Wait, What's that?
Well, action stations, everyone.
Warden, return fire!
Condemned lackey and condemned assassin. That speed is long and little become my fancy trick. Kevin, you don't want to stay alive now. Well, we lost the warden. That's unfortunate. What's his assistant gotta say?
Seal off the wing! No one gets in or out without my say-so! Kelsa, how's the warden?
Dead, sir. Clean shot to the head. I think that makes you the new warden.
I hadn't thought of that.
Now isn't the time for doubt, Warden. These people need you.
All right. I'll do what I can for now. Securing this station is our first priority. Another ambush like that and we're through. Our security field should keep the prisoners out. Some condemned saboteurs trashed the field generator. The whole network is down.
Leave it to me, sir. A few tools, a little elbow grease, and I'll have that generator back up in no time.
That generator could still be crawling with prisoners. I'd feel a lot better knowing someone was watching her back.
Got this.
She'll be safe. You have my word.
I'll hold you to that.
Just let me slip into something more blaster resistant.
I kinda like her.
The generator isn't far. Just keep those lunatics away from Kelsa. Give them one for the warden.
I got it. And our rendezvous with them at this location thing is a bit further off. So there's that. But what do you know, we arrived just in time to catch our lift. And Kira's magic powers. Once again, help her to get up here. Nice. Very nice. You mind teaching me your instant transmission trick, Kira? I could use the ability to get from point A to point B without a loading screen. Would certainly be handy. Okay, we're on our way. Gang leaders and killers. Oh, great. That's just what we need. Let me see here. This way, then. I'm probably not going to time-lapse this bit because it doesn't appear to be as long as it otherwise could be. And there's vaguely interesting stuff going by that I may want to talk about. This is a brand new world, so yeah. Fortunately, though, seems this planet is a lot smaller than the last couple we were on, and it's definitely more interesting to look at than places like Hoth. So, let's just kill some criminals. I'm going to get out of this. I was at. That kind of stuff, I have a tendency to take it rather personally. That's 5 of 12. Not really too bothered about trying to get this, but if and when these guys get in my way, I'd have to be taken out.
This would be beautiful if it wasn't for all this ugly technology. The psychotic criminals don't help.
Indeed they do, Kira. You're right, it is quite a pretty planet. Psychotic criminals and ugly tech, notwithstanding, of course. Okay, you guys can die. And we'll be on our way after that. Just warming up a little bit. 9 of 12. Check. And we're there. Probably gonna hit a few more on the way back.
That should do it. Throw the switch and cross your fingers.
Alrighty.
We're all here. It looks like that did it. The security fields just went up. Not a moment too soon. Even better, that boost jump-started the station's internal generators. We're rerouting power to them now.
That means the prisoners won't be able to knock out the fields again, right?
For the time being. You did good. And thank you for looking after Kelsa. She's only a junior corrections officer. I'd hate to see anything happen to her. On that note, I just received intel from Republic Command that those condemned lunatics have already responded to our shield restoration. They just hit another armory. This one's unique, though. It's stocked with all kinds of prototype weaponry, including our new Magnetar rifles.
What are those?
I'm assuming that's a weapon of some kind?
More or less. The Magnetar rifles were specifically designed to disrupt energy shields. The technology's experimental, but effective. Our security fields won't last against one of those things. A single shot takes a while to load up, but it could punch right through our defenses.
Well, I guess we're going rifle hunting then. And that's an odd statement, to be sure.
Send me the armory's coordinates. I'll deal with the condemned myself.
Just make sure you get all the weapons. A single unaccounted rifle could compromise the station's security. Try not to kill anyone if you can. There's been enough death already. Bring the rifles back to the station once you've retrieved them. Crawl out.
Here. These stun grenades should take the fight out of them.
Okay. Much appreciated. The option to not kill our enemies is always nice. Magnetar rifles. Get on the bike and let's head out. Here we are then, heading to our destination. That's 2. Oh, Kira. Chill. Remember, we're trying to not kill them. Try and keep that in mind, yeah? go. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to fight our way through a few more. But for story purposes, I'm going to say we created most of them, and not just 4 of them. One Magnetar rifle. 2 Magnetar rifle. Take some of that, why don't you? Head. But as we were. 3 Magnetar rifle. 4 Magnetar rifle. Too bad the things aren't right next to each other, or I could make a song out of that. 1 Magnetar rifle, 2 Magnetar rifle, 3 Magnetar rifle, 4 Magnetar rifle, 5 Magnetar rifle, 6 Magnetar rifle. Granted, it's probably one of the worst songs in the history of singing, but still a song. Even if not a particularly funny one. 5 Magnetar rifle. And once again, going to take the easy route for this. 6 Magnetar rifle. I'll return to the warden as soon as I can, but we've got a few other things to take care of first. Can't mount up inside a story area. That's right. So let's get out of this area and get on the bike. Because that guy needs his coils from the Mandalorians, doesn't he? That's going to be our next objective. Power coils from the Mandalorians. Which means heading off in this direction. A little bit. Or does it? Did I take a wrong turn somewhere? May well have. Well, they've replenished their numbers with the condemned. And their numbers back, so...
There, good as new.
Kill these imbeciles. Fast as we can. Thank you, Kira. Do appreciate it. And that guy wandered too close for our liking. And is now proceeding to stick his beak into our affairs. We don't really want people to stick their nose in our business, as you can plainly tell. Well, maybe we're going in the wrong direction. It does rather seem that way, I have to admit. So I will get on my bike and ride on here to an alternate seeming route. I don't know if this is actually going to take us where I'm trying to go, but I'd like to give it a try. Just because I'm sort of experimenting around with getting places on this planet right now, because we just got here and I don't know where I'm going, hardly. Yeah, let's not pick a fight with the local wildlife if we can at all help it. We seem to have found the way we're supposed to be going after all. At least I hope so. Well, keep at it and see if we can't get there like this. Seems to be the reasonable route, and passing by a bunch of turrets on fire, as well as rioting prisoners. Good God. Is this where the Republic posts all the idiots who don't know what they're doing? Because seriously, it seems like they took everyone who was useless or incompetent on the front lines and sent them to serve at Belsavis, because it was out of the way and secret until recently. That would make sense, considering it doesn't seem to have been very difficult for the prisoners to start this riot. It really doesn't. But now we have some gangs to go after. Coils of the turrets. Let's get this guy. Manslayer. This will be a bit of a challenge. I need to get past this wall somehow. Looks like a little opening just up here. We'll see if we can't use that. Still not complaining about fighting that Mandalorian leader. It was an interesting battle. And I actually had to use my abilities some, which I always do appreciate. Oh, those guys weren't Mandalorians. My bad. We need to squish their turrets. And kill 6 of them. There. Elevator coil 1. Elevator coil 2. And finally, motivator coil 3. That was a terrible accent, and I don't even know what kind of accent it was. I just started doing it because reasons. Now, I think we'll be heading back for those 2 side quests before start our rendezvous with whoever this guy is. About finding the non-force sensitive pure-blooded Sith that's supposed to be responsible for the Emperor's desire to wipe out all life on this planet. But before that, I want to turn in these couple of quests and probably get to stage 2 on this planet's story, as that's how this works. Speaking of planet stories, you know, this is one thing that just recently came to mind. I would probably be a lot more likely to do the stories on these planets more frequently than I do if I didn't have to go all the way back to the person in question to meet up with them. I mean, I have a holo communicator. Why can't I just call them and tell them that I'm done? I mean, with the exception of this, when they
I've got your motivator
stuff,
coils. Are your droids ready?
They need
They're as ready
stuff.
as they can
Why
be.
can't I just
Should just
put
be able
it
to
in a
drop in the
mailbox
coils
or
and they'll be
something?
running.
Seriously.
We're not out of the woods, but at least with the droids to help out, we've got a fighting chance. Glad you made it back.
I said I'd bring you the motivator coils. I keep my promises.
It was a huge deal for my men. Maybe we'll even survive this riot.
Alrighty. That's that taken care of. And another 400 influence with Kira. Nice. Well, waiting on that thing to come back up. But yeah, that's one thing you probably have noticed about me. I am not a big fan of fetch quests or backtracking. And one thing that's recently started to irritate me in MMOs and just games in general is something that I didn't know was irritating until I started playing the Star Wars Galaxies emulator recently. That being the fact that I get annoyed when I do something that it seems like I'm just going through the motions that a billion other people have done before me. That just irritates me because it doesn't feel like I'm making a difference. I'm just going through the motions. Which is why, much as I love the stories in these games, you have to admit Star Wars The Old Republic is not a very good sandbox. You can't make your own decisions. You make decisions off of a list, basically. Which I'm not overly fond of in a lot of ways. Even if I do really like this game. But, or at least I wouldn't be overly fond of if this game was trying to be a sandbox, which it isn't. It's basically Mass Effect Star Wars Edition in a lot of ways, which I'm okay with, because it's not pretending to give you the freedom to do absolutely
Glad to see you made
anything.
it. With all the rifles, no less. I appreciate you keeping the body count to a minimum. The last thing we need is to provoke the rioters even further. With the shield generator online and the Magnetar rifles back in our hands, we'll be safe for a while. Thank you.
Any other weapons I should be worried about the prisoners getting their hands on?
Just the usual assortment of blasters and vibro blades.
We can deal
Good news.
with.
We finally have a lead on the Condemned's ringleader. Found this holo recording on one of Plate's assassins. Take a look.
Brothers, sisters, I am Niranos. Like you, I was born into captivity, shackled by the crimes of my ancestors. Our forefathers rot in the bowels of this prison, their debt to the Republic repaid in full. Yet, here we remain, guiltless. We must stand united against this injustice. Together we will tear down these walls and seize our freedom.
It goes on from there, but you get the idea. This guy is bad news. He's cunning, ruthless, and worst of all, charismatic.
Yeah, well, he does actually kind of have a point. You are sort of blaming them for the sins of their ancestors, and I don't like that.
Sounds like he has every reason to be upset.
Don't buy into the whole hero of the people routine. He's injected just enough truth into his rants to rally his followers. Niranos is dangerous, but he's just a puppet. The Empire's been using him to provoke the inmates. Fortunately, they slipped up.
That's right. I isolated several audio cues from the recording and got a fix on its origin. Could be their headquarters.
This is the break we've been waiting for. Now that we know where they're hiding, we can finally take the fight to them.
Why are Imperials fraternizing with convicts?
The Empire's been egging them on in hopes of escalating the riots. May get more than they bargained for. Niranos and his Imperial cohorts are the brains behind the Condemned. We take them out, we end this riot. Get to their hideout. If Niranos is there, eliminate him. Otherwise, find out what they're up to. Any insight could go a long way.
Hopefully, the Force will provide an alternative to violence. You just stay here and keep an eye on the station.
Will do. Hang on to those stun grenades Kelsa gave you. Kill the Imperials if you like, but again, I'd prefer the prisoners were subdued non-lethally. Contact me when you've cleared out of the base. I'll be waiting for your report.
Alright then. Level 56. Yay.
Fine.
In any case... And we only just made it. Hooray. Actually, with this whole convict riot thing, Sogohi has mixed feelings about the whole thing, honestly. And we're not actually going to bother to pick up any more side quests, I don't think. Yeah. Oh, shut up. Yeah, Sogohi has mixed feelings about it. Because... on the one hand, these guys are clearly being blamed for things that were done by their parents and grandparents and so on. But, on the other hand, they are also clearly criminals and are injuring and killing innocent people just to make a point, which we can't agree with. So, we're of two minds on this. We don't agree with them being locked up just because they're related to criminals, but we certainly don't agree with their methods of trying to free themselves either. If they were just trying to break out, and the people they killed were those that happened to unfortunately be in the way, then it would be different, but that's not the case. More on that later, I imagine. For now, we have to rendezvous with our ally, whose name I forget, in this general direction. And unlike most times, that's a good chunk of the map we've unlocked now. Here we are. Hello.
Whoa, hold on. You're the Jedi who was supposed to meet Enna, right? I know what this looks like, but I told her to wait for you. She wanted to go outside, scout the area. I warned her if the Imperials didn't get her, the escaped convicts would. Enna didn't listen.
I want your name and rank, soldier.
I'm not a soldier. Name's Pac Taldine. I work here. Enna heard I know Belle Savis better than anyone, and asked me to help her. I had no idea what I was signing up for. I just want to get out of this alive.
Jedi aren't easy to kill. What happened to Enna?
She crawled back from her scouting mission, wounded and barely alive. Said she escaped from an Imperial patrol. I tried to help her, but I'm not a medtech. She told me everything she learned out there, right up to her last breath. None of it was good news.
I'm looking for an Imperial officer, a red-skinned Sith.
Enna told me the Imperials are entrenched by the main reactor. They were taking orders from a pure-blood Sith. They have heavy weapons and a ray shield protecting their position. Nobody's moving them from that reactor anytime soon.
If Kranus is at the reactor, then we've got to find some way to get by those defenses.
You'll never get past the Imperial shields before their heavy weapons mow you down. We need a plan.
You know this prison. Got any bright ideas?
There might be one thing we could try. If you overload the energy relays feeding the sector's power grid, you could knock down that ray shield. We've got ion charges here. We could plant one at each power relay, detonate them simultaneously, and short out the Imperial defenses.
Give me the ion charges. Keep an eye on Enna's remains. See they're treated with respect.
Contact me when all the charges are in place. I'll detonate them from this control room. Good luck, and watch your back.
So, I think this is actually a good place to call this recording session. It's not been as long as my usual one, but I think this is a good place to end it. I was never really planning on this one being very long. I just sort of wanted to get on to Belsavis and start the storyline stuff here, which I've done. And now, I think we're in a good place to stop it. So, I'm going to halt here. And what we are going to do next time is knock out these power relays and check out the hideout of the Condemned, so that we can deal with this riot, and stop the Imperials from killing a bunch of people and giving the Emperor superpowers or something. They were never too clear on that. That's what we're going to be doing next time. So, this has been Dark Phoenix Ninja 92, and thank you very much for watching my Let's Play of Star Wars The Old Republic, the Jedi Knight storyline. And I hope you'll join me next time for our blowing stuff up as usualness. If you've enjoyed this, then please leave a like, comment, or subscribe, because it really does help me out. And again, thank you very much for watching. So, until next time, I'll see you then, folks. See you then.